But that's something we'll talk
nothing
about.
But gin. All gin, just nothing but gin.
Good day and salutations, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Togetherwerole, where the most, quality services are provided.
Quality?
Oh my god.
Quality?
Wow.
I mean, they're still watching, so they're here for this kind of quality.
Please tell me somebody hit the intro already.
Oh, no, I haven't hit the intro.
Oh my god, this is still rolling?
In everyone's defense, quality does include low quality.
That's true.
Low quality is a type of quality.
Yes.
Anyway,
I'm gonna make that t-shirt.
Low quality
it was so pretty
Have you
good.
even done your intro yet?
Good day and salutations.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
What about you?
You were busy being humiliated.
Yes.
Yeah, I was completely...
Because I'm your son saying what I did.
You're the guy in the fucking control.
It was just a reference to a dildo. Can we start the intro?
No announcements?
Let's do that, shall we?
Yeah, see you in a moment.
Bye. Right back.
Welcome back, everyone. So we're no, we're not done being children. We're always going to be children.
Running
14.
D&D.
Forever 14.
We're here to play D&D so that we can get past life's horrific struggles, and I'm going to help you along with that.
Yes.
So
that's
to get back to into the muck of things, so to speak. A little bit of recap.
Okay.
You found Harkern, the city of Forge. Told them that there are people behind you, known as the Roshan Empire, that are, were hot on your trails, but due to special circumstances, you had time to properly warn them.
We're gained a week.
You brought in, unknowingly, and as if it was burning a hole in your pocket, brought out a arc of cogs, a literal pocket generator, the size of a small basketball. One of those sizes.
More like pocket nuclear power plant.
You were judged by the Council of Thoughts. You were judged by the Council of Thought. Sorry for speaking over you. And they said, yes, you can stay after telling the truth. And you were asked if you could, for paid services, of course, to enter this Ark of Cogs, to activate it, and allow a better future for them and a better chance of survival for them if you are successful. You agreed. At least the side that definitely agreed first had reasons. You entered the Ark of Cogs, found a couple of shinies, made a couple of friends, and as far as you are aware, successfully, correctly powered the Ark of Cogs, so that power can come through from one reality to another, and the Gull Report.
I don't like the way you said we think we turned it on correctly.
Well, there were a lot of,
In X defense, he doesn't think anything.
Wibbly wobbly, tiny whiny.
yes. And
Jeremy Bearamy.
Probably know we're stuck in
being
time.
inside of this place, this plane
You
of
haven't watched it yet.
this plane of existence of cogs turning gears and clockwork madness inside, finding devils that were trapped in mechanical monstrosities that did not function but yet continued to endure. There was seen to be some sort of civil war in the side. Unknown of how it's going to end, you got yourself out after completing what you needed to do. And as you transfer from one plane to existence to another, as you go back to the prime material realm, in between this strange moving, almost like a moving platform of just endless turning of gears around you. You had a conversation with a devil-infused shadow planet, seemingly to reopen negotiations of a contract.
Yep.
As you guys enter and leave at the same time, the Ark of Cogs. No time passing, as there's a split second as you find the doorway that you entered, as it opens up and parting completely, allowing the light to shine in once more, seeing the outside world, fresh air that you didn't realize that you needed, suddenly fills your lungs as the stale air from the Ark of Cogs is left behind. There's a momentary pause as everyone literally looks at you. As you see all these factory workers and the three members of the Council of Tempered Thought look at you as if there was a little bit of confusion.
Home, honey. We're high.
Pretty much. And then suddenly... I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back into it. My brain is a little ferduckled right now. Whatever that is.
Ferduckled, that's good. That's
I like
word.
ferduckled.
It's a
That's a
technical
good
term.
word. That's a good word.
Since you've interrupted yourself, I just have to say, you know that we're not like scripted in any way because you threw out mechanical monstrosities that somehow still function, and none of us made a Chevy Nova reference, and that is just the definition of the sitcom setup.
Mechanical
Anyway.
monstrosities to somehow function.
You entered and then left at the exact same time as you leave the Ark of Cogs after fixing it. As no time has passed, as you did not spend enough time in there to get caught in this whatever time fuckery that was happening on the inside.
Which is great because we still have the week.
And at the same time, the logic of a broken clock does not pass time.
It all makes sense.
Sparks has that clarity moment, and as soon as you leave, a split second passes as everyone is realizing what has happened, seeing the battle-torn nature of what many of you are. Some of you are almost just breathe upon and you'll fall over, including Mr. Hemingway. A surge of electrical power fills the network of wires that are just coating the floor and into the sides of the factory that have these pressurized chambers, tubing and mechanisms that are connected to one another, pressurized pipes and pressurized tanks are sort of swaying back to life once again as a surge of a massive amount of energy surges from the center area where this Ark of Cogs is now expanded and a good 2-3 inches now, having seams to be seen through into the actual mechanisms itself, still connected with everything around it, as people are suddenly turning and twisting to see what's going on. As you see a strange three-dimensional gyro-rotating clock at the center where it has the hands of the hours, minutes, and seconds posted on the outside, outside of the actual ball, steel, of the copper ball. That are connected to these either half crescent or quarter crescent cogs on the inner circles that are also turning at the same time with a single bead of yellowish white bead of intense sunlight that seems to radiate out in almost like a misfaction.
Oh shit.
Immediately there is commotion, commands, people giving orders all over the place as this place suddenly goes from a dead stop motion to people moving around trying to figure out what's going on, to assess the situation. As one of the member of the Council of Tempered Thought comes over, the one that has the wings that is covered and head to toe in heavy, fine shaped plate mill that has that strange apparatus on the side that seems to be either pumping some sort of fluid through his body, floating through the air with his steel wings that he has on the top of his back, speaking to you in a very southern, swallow your voice gurgle that's almost a little hard to understand what he's saying over the commotion of everything that's going on. If I can get his voice right. Did you get it? As he speaks a couple of times.
I love that voice, man. That's
He's
a cool
not.
voice.
Is did you get the color plate?
The what?
The girl brought the single one. As he mentions to one of the slots that slid into the actual Arc of Cogs, that he's referring to a flat pommel one.
Oh no.
Did we?
Did we? I'm not sure we did. We.
Could someone more articulate ask the question?
It takes a few moments, and the individual, the other Temper Thought member, the one that did not vouch for you, comes over a few seconds later, seems to be going around the peripheral, checking dials, checking pressure points that are almost going over, and a couple of them cracking as you see Swart as more commotion goes by, as he's using his long rifle barrel as almost like a crutch kind of deal. And he goes, "It's acting if you got the Gala report, the mark of life."
Mark of life. Did we get? We didn't take anything from there, did we?
No, it's a connection.
Ah.
It's a connection. It's the single one that we have the 3-pronged one with the three purple crystals, and then we had the tier ones, and then you had the single one. They didn't get connected.
Yes.
All three of them?
All three of them.
Okay, we're in business! As he turns around and starts yelling, and suddenly the two massive walls walls in the factory open up that were closed off in the back part of his factory.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think I'm right too.
I think I'm right.
I didn't see anything. I don't know.
As you hear a pressurized whistle alarm as someone is pulling it several times, as the rest of the factory that was in the motion of whatever they were doing, as they were constructing new youngling forge, immediately stop, change momentum, and begin to form into this area, almost like a continuous flowing river of just forged and factory work.
Quick question. How important is it if there's a portal to the hells in there?
Yes, and that even though it's only been about 8 seconds here, it's probably been 8 years for them, so they could come in at any moment.
Query comes over immediately, being more adept in magical shenanigans. This taller, slender individual with almost a barrel chest with a very long flowing robes that goes from his hip downwards. He comes over, stops, begins to say something. I'm sorry, what?
Oh.
Portal to the hells, devils coming out. How
Yes.
big of a deal is that if that's in there?
They were.
Unrestrained.
No.
Well,
We kind of... They were
They were
unrestrained.
under restraint. They were coming through a portal inside the Ark of
So
Cogs.
the portal was getting smaller.
There was a
and
fight. We opened it up. Big guys
He
working.
immediately starts motioning towards the doorway that you guys came through, and several of the several of the forge, I need to get that out of there, start immediately
I want to
tearing
make very
off
clear we have
wires.
nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
immediately start disconnecting the doorway that you came through to make sure that it's not connected so that nothing else can come through it. And as the last part of it, with each wire that's unconnecting, the individual cogs that are just thousands upon thousands of them, half parts of it are falling off, and until the last one is pulled from the wire, the whole thing just comes down in a like a bag of beads. All
Did
over
you
the floor.
just break it?
It is so that we do not have additional company.
Unwanted company.
So to be clear, there's a big war going on in there. Lots of devils had already gotten out. We're fighting the inhabitants of it, and then time broke in there. There was a lot of time leaks,
Literally.
a lot of nothing moving, and
moving back and forth.
But then there was an area where a portal was being opened.
Hypothetically, if a demon did get in here,
Devil.
Big difference.
hypothetically,
Apparently.
if a being from the lower planes were to get in here, what would that look like?
Glad you're being specific.
I mean,
If a portal from one of the 9 hells broke into, let's say, through this doorway right now, they would have little resistance for a bit. We would stand our ground here with being the council's tempered thoughts until proper reinforcements would come and deal with the situation.
okay, so someone remind me. The portal, we stopped it from growing, and it was at a size where the big things couldn't get through,
Correct.
right? But like
And-
the imps still could.
So basically, it was about, I want to say, 4 feet in diameter. So medium creatures could crawl through it. well, not even 4 feet. At most, it was at 4 feet. Basically, medium creatures could crawl through it, but large creatures had no chance.
As far as I see, since we got the big guy in there who is now effectively unlimited power, and only medium creatures can get in, I think we're okay, because that guy should be able to take care of anything that can make it through. That's my
You'll forgive me if I want to get the
prognosis.
hell out of here sometime soon. Literally.
It's not to say that all hell beings are inherently problematic.
In the one on her back.
We don't need to announce that.
As the 3 members of the Tempered Thought are literally standing right here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hot in here?
Yes.
The armor's kind of warm.
Also, he was injected with some weird light power thing, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure we know what happened.
One thing at a
I
time.
went through
please.
some test of mind strength.
Oh, by the way, make a wisdom saving throw, by the way.
Oh,
You are currently enraged and also steel will, and there's a whole lot of noise going on with sparks and flashes
next half
and
hour.
breaking in class. And right now, you're having a little bit of ability of controlling intensity right now.
Okay, so that's a natural saving throw?
Saving throw, yes.
That's better. Okay, so
You
that's
get
going
to
to make
throw
it.
a D6 on that.
Yes, big difference. Big difference. Especially when my wisdom gives me a -2, so that makes it. Makes it a 17. And that was a 19 that turned into a 17. Wisdom is not my strength.
No, it's not. So you don't go on a murderous rampage
Cool.
Oh boy, that would
because
go well.
right now you have the base instincts of friend, foe, and that's it. You can speak, but it's definitely a very intense kind of speaking. You are pretty much, you're tripping right now.
Clenched jaw.
Don't touch my armor. Don't.
He's having spatial
More of a
issues right
meth
now.
thing than a trip thing, just to clarify. But
Yeah,
There's a bad trip,
bath salts.
Indeed.
Anyway.
Well, all right.
As
Well,
Query begins to speak up, so one thing at a time. I shall remain here. I do have particular practices that are good at taking care of extra-dimensional beings in terms of portal opening, closing, and also handling in general. If that makes you more comfortable. However, as he turns around, and you see the number of forged individuals and also factory workers that have come in are currently carting in additional wiring, additional boxes, containers filled with some sort of strange ambient liquids that are coming, that are just being flowed from one part of the factory to another. It's just almost like a colony of ants that are just changed in its momentum, along with skeletal forms of what look to be prepared youngling forged, that are currently being carted into the center and currently placed at these 3 centered points of ambered colored clockwork circles. We would like to confirm if this is properly activated.
I have a concern.
What is your concern? The devils?
Well,
There's my concern. I was gonna wait for it, but
bear with me here. I'm about to have a thought.
Nicholas sits down.
It's gonna take a while.
If you think about this, what were the devils trying to do? They were taking over. You have a personal experience to understand this. Oh, I'm winking the wrong eye, aren't I?
yes,
So-
absolutely.
Now,
Do you even speak
do you
common?
think that perhaps they know what this thing does, and you bring your younglings out that are going to be energized by this thing to waken them, and they might actually be able to possess the forged?
What a thought!
Yes, that is exactly what I think. So,
And
It is a possibility.
consider me inspired.
I consider you insipid. It's close enough.
Oh, right.
Oh, wait, it rubs off.
So what are you saying?
We're saying get a cleric in here.
Huh.
A good one.
Or at least someone with banishment.
It would.
I have banishment.
There we go. It's fine.
All right. All right.
All right,
In
fine.
terms
fine.
of
Can we rest before you do this?
by the terms of righteous interventions from other gods, we have the becoming god, the Church of the Perfecti. That I do not think they would be very helpful in this situation. But there are the druids of the Turtle race here.
Oh, marvelous. They're almost clerics. Almost.
The one that got us here was a
Well, it depends.
Druid.
They could be good clerics if they are of good skill, if they are knowledgeable.
Wasn't there a... and he turns over to Whisper, there was a dragonborn, wasn't there?
Huh? Dragonborn in there?
One of the refugees.
One of our
yes.
the guy who helped me get us here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He gives out a couple of commands, and he reaches into one of the pockets that is hidden within his robes, or lower kilt that he has, but it's all the way down to his legs. All the way down to his legs? All the way down to his ankles. There we go. Sometimes I listen to what I say.
Sometimes.
Only sometimes, you know. Can't get too boring.
I don't find it worthwhile, but you go ahead.
The ends of his legs. Moving on.
He brings out a small mechanical bird and begins to whisper into it, and then he lets it fly out.
Speaking of stuff, can I have mine back?
Oh.
There's an armored bag and a construct
yes.
and
And it's off to the side, still on the table, still being properly organized and everything, so that you can.
Right, they're
grab
still
it.
putting stuff out.
Yeah, they're still putting stuff out right now, and they're like,
Yes. And that's
Throw it all
right.
back in.
I do want my shithole, my portable shithole.
I didn't actually leave anything.
the rag.
The rag.
Everything that I would leave would be useful.
This is that nasty looking rag.
I just like to imagine that you sneezed in it one
That's where I
time. or
put my
something.
shit in it, man. That's where I put my shit. My shithole.
You notice that in the midst of you gathering your stuff and everything of this conversation, these still being built, forged individuals, these younglings, have been placed and are currently having these strange three-segmented tubes that are being placed right next to them that connect to the apparatus above them that almost looks like very similar to your jump pad, where it's almost like a upside-down Tesla coil that actually gets feed into the center and it all connects into one that has strange, like, not gyrations, but line works all across the inner workings of the actual tubing itself, creating these strange reinforced metal castic tubings that are bolted together and shut around each warforge that is being in the process. And they begin hooking up tubes and more tubes and more tubes and liquid containers. In the midst of the process, you hear a command from the sidelines and 3 levers. And suddenly, and almost like an angry electrified dishwasher just activates for each platform. Yeah, I know, it's
You've been in my kitchen.
and it's just, with the level of noise that was in this factory, it just is amplified additionally to the point that you almost can hear ringing in your
Or
ears.
this has less water.
Also, too.
Plasma.
Just less water spraying everywhere.
And a good 5 minutes go, 10 minutes go, as the currently the 3 individuals of the Tempered Thought are currently keeping careful eye of the situation.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm in no condition to fight a horde of young Warforged demons.
I'm really. There's blood coming out of this nostril, I think.
Right.
I'm okay.
I pressed to digitate your face.
Unless I got healers here, so I
The
should be
blood
okay.
on your face.
It goes back up your nose.
better out.
What
better in than
I'm
out, I
saying
think.
is we might be more of a hindrance here, so let's let them do their thing.
You hear armored footsteps of heavier
That's never a good sign.
individuals coming through. As you see 1, 4, 5, the size of Sparks, forged individuals that are armored from head to toe. They're carrying halberds, long swords, shields, and tower shields, along with nets behind them that are currently taking a controlled circle around each one of these things.
I draw my blade. Everyone feel pumped up like me?
I move to the far, I just start walking for the door, kind of a bye.
Yeah, it takes a few moments because you are walking upstream kind of deal.
Yep.
I'm just gonna follow with the armored guys.
Okay. They are in the chamber.
No, I'm following
I'm
Nicholas.
swapping in.
I can't help anymore here.
How disturbing is it for you how often you follow Nicholas?
I can,
Fair question. Thought about it until this moment.
yes, I just... No, Drake, I always see that you're following behind.
Sure, landmines.
So you want one of those?
No. What?
What are land?
Oh, landmines are these things that are are buried with a little wire or some kind of tripping mechanism set up, and if you step on them or walk through them, they explode from underneath you. They're very hard.
So they're
Booby traps.
Oh, they're a delayed blast fireballs.
That's exactly what they are.
You've worked in mines. I'm the canary. Now move.
I eat canaries. I'm moving.
You just see Spark just.
I'm assuming Sparks is with the other individuals.
How is he sweating? We don't know.
Of the times you've seen Sparks, he's always been reformed and has that almost tamed lion kind of deal. He's just twitchy right now.
Do we need to put him out? Do we need to sedate him?
A couple other of the forged individuals are just, as they're taking up these refined perimeters around the actual units itself.
I just
kind of
between yellow and red.
Yeah.
I've got rage in me, man. Rage and will.
You want,
I know how it is, man.
Just
Wait a minute. No, it's the hey Dylan. Smack. Got you pushing pencils again, duh. From anyway.
You're dating
That'd
yourself.
be an old
you're
that'd be an
dating
old
yourself.
Predator movie.
There you go.
That's an ancient Predator movie.
ancient. There.
The good ones.
I'm trying to date myself, so
86?
yeah, it's anyway. Sorry.
Moving on.
The true
Moving on.
ancients. That's what I just said.
Okay.
Anyway. So, Sparks, I'm assuming you're staying behind and the rest of you are going outside?
Bye.
I'm gonna ride this trip out.
Okay. So, you guys make it outside of the factory as there's quite a bit of commotion on the outside as every individual that are on the outside are either keeping a perimeter on the outside of this singular factory floor that you entered a certain house's domain, or is currently inside helping and assisting on whatever they're doing. Not 5 minutes go by and you see a familiar red-scaled two-paired pointing backward dragonborn that is currently taking what look to be basic night robes and is currently being escorted by two equally massive fours that are just currently holding them up. And he's just kind of sitting at the center of these massive forge individuals and is kind of just allowing him to be walked in.
Good luck.
Ah.
That about sums it
We're
up.
behind you.
Going this way, though.
Way behind you.
He's been walked into the factory.
Your skills are needed.
Yeah, that's what they did. They're not exactly subtle in terms of asking sometimes.
I mean, quite literally, the fate of the world.
Citizen, you're being conscripted.
We don't,
Clean and
literally the fate of the
again,
world.
we don't know that it's the fate of the world at stake.
Our world. My world.
Again, we don't know that that's happening. You guys are making a lot of assumptions
We're
about the
making my people,
capabilities.
my
of that.
world here. My world.
Sparks. This is going on as the angry dishwasher is currently going on, creating a hell amount of racket as containers are that have these dials that are telling how much liquid is on the inside. Very familiar to your cast of ale that's still sitting on the table over there, but right now you're preoccupied with stuff and you're not exactly in the right mind.
What?
Your casket of ale.
Oh, yeah, I haven't got that yet.
Yeah.
I don't care about that.
No,
I want to fight. I'm on roids.
Yeah, you're on roids right now. You're seeing these containers of liquid empty out quickly that are pumping out and into these about 8-foot tall cylindrical chambers that are connected with that Tesla rod on the inside that is making this electrical snapping sound. A good 10 minutes passes as you guys are evacuating the area because the factory is not exactly a small thing, and you're going upriver, essentially, in terms of bodies that are leaving.
And the metal bodies, so...
Well, not all of them are metal bodies. Yes, Forge here are very much more prominent, but there's others. You see turtle individuals that are helping out the situation that are equally as girthy, if not more so. There's humans, and then you see a couple of dwarves as well that are helping with the metalworking. As the liquid containers are emptying out, the boiling and sloshing and turning of the liquids on the inside empties out. And a new noise that was always there fills the chamber. Now much more prominent and much more aware to it, as you hear many mechanized arms on the inside. And you hear of something moving on the inside of these cylindrical tubes. At the end of 10 minutes, the rest of you get outside. Fresh air at last. Still nighttime. And there's currently about 3 or 4 forged individuals that are sitting in front of the factory watching everyone that is leaving. And you notice that a couple of them walk over. One of them that is actually approaching has a long brimmed metal hat and what looks to be a strange tube-like arm that pivots at the elbow. That would actually make it a hand kind of deal. He comes over. There we go. Why, hello there. I'm assuming you're needing a good night's rest.
We have a house.
I have a tent.
Do we know these people?
We have a security force. We know your faces.
That's not reassuring.
It's common courtesy for the VIPs to make sure that we know your face, so that we know, for security purposes, to allow those that are known by faces to be let in.
Do we have other accommodations? Do we have our own
I have my
accommodations?
tent. Well, wait a minute. I don't think I ever paid. We kind of ran
We
away.
kind of ran away.
No, we paid beforehand. And they were setting up a place for us.
Yes.
However, that was the night before because we stayed as guests last
Cows.
time.
I was made aware. But, and he points to his shoulder as there's a small little mechanical bird on his shoulder. That your manor is available by the cart at the front of the manor of this house.
Okay, that tracks.
Does the manor have a large field or something near it for potentially explosive conversations to take place without anyone getting hurt?
I assume so. It's a manor.
We should
We
go
got a
there.
courtyard. Oh, good. All right.
Well, I'm going to take a nap, and then I'm going to have a conversation.
Scribe Quilly will be there to greet you.
Oh, joy.
And he kind of motions towards the gated area that you first entered, where these platforms, these gun towers are, where the
Turrets.
where those pretty much breech-loaded cannon turrets.
They're called turrets.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Being stupid here.
That's where the term turret comes from.
And there is a horse-drawn carriage, a simple one, but a functional one, especially since after what you guys gone through, after about 4 or 5 hours of exerting yourselves, especially in the last part of it, definitely welcomed. It's up to you if you wish to board it.
Oh, why not?
Is there a way for me
Yes.
to sit on it without touching the turtle?
Well, I mean, there's left side and right side of the
He
city
tends
carriage.
to take up multiple sides.
If
I know. I am a multi-seater. Sorry. You know what? I'm big boned.
Okay. Dimensions of cart. Is there a spot for me to sit where I'm not
he
touching?
definitely takes up like one side of it, and then the other side of it, you and
Okay.
Drake can sit pretty much side by side compared to what he
At
has.
least Sparks is in here.
Would it help?
I'd just run.
So Drake will, settle his back into one of the corners of the cart and just throw a cloak over it.
I hop up, I
Tilt the hat.
Right,
pull
exactly.
the puppy out, let him hop around.
Charles, the blink dog puppy, is currently just eyes wide, a little singed, a couple parts of his face, and it's just. Have you ever seen like almost like a comatose puppy of what the fuck did I just witness?
In Sylvan, I told you you'd have adventures. I didn't say they'd always be fun.
He got just, and that's pretty much all he gets out of.
Total pug.
Get total pug, just traumatized
Total pug.
pug right now. He's not injured. He's just
Pug.
processing.
He's gone full pug.
And the cart goes off into the distance. It takes roughly about 15 minutes for you to get to the manor. As you pass the city streets, pass one Titan on the way over there, as people are moving through the city streets, seeing the electrical lights that are starting to pulsate. As a couple people are taking notice of it and just moving on with their business, as there's some sort of power fluctuation going through the city streets right now.
What
I'm
is the city?
beginning to wonder whether or not we've done the right thing.
As am I.
We don't even know what we did. We're not even sure what we did. We knew what we were doing, but we don't know what we've done.
I'm certain it's not the worst thing I've done.
That's not
Wow.
Okay,
All right. Well, good.
We have
So apparently she's
Severely-
destroyed the world at one point because
Literally
severe at the
making me
minimum,
deal with the
assuming everything
devil.
worked out the way we
Willingly
thought it did.
with the devil.
We have at least armed a nation state and guaranteed the conflict that's coming is going to be significantly more bloody. We've guaranteed that more people are going to die.
Well, that's not necessarily true. A genocide, when one side is well equipped and the other side isn't, leads to just as many deaths. We've ensured more distributed deaths.
She's
a
not.
more balanced outcome. You know what?
A chance.
A chance.
You're not there. Stop prompting the next guy.
Grappy's got out.
Sitting there, banging the shield.
If you can't contain yourself, sit like this.
I know it sucks not being there, doesn't it?
So as you guys are being carted to the to your new manor, the
And
place to rest.
at the very least, we no longer have a nuclear weapon in someone's pocket. So, we did one good thing.
Right.
What's a nuclear weapon?
It's a
It's something that Spark said once.
no, just don't explain it. It's a big bomb.
Was that what it is?
A big land.
You don't
a
know?
big land
It's
mine.
something Spark said once.
It's true. I think you're right. I think you're right. He did say that once.
Read in a book.
I don't know tech.
Hey guys, I found this strange glowing green rock thing.
With a red button, should I push it?
Don't push
Makes me
it.
tingly.
My understanding of color theory implies that the red is a bad idea. But it also means it's going to be exciting. So, you should push it.
I like her. I like her. What is it if life isn't interesting?
Meanwhile, in the cacophony,
Yeah, there you go. Sparks. There's a couple of individuals that are standing next to you, just kind of listening to you, kind of coasting you, while there's a good other ring around you that you don't
they're
really
being the
notice
nannies.
it yet.
They're being the nannies.
They're being the nannies, correct. They're kind of taking you off to one side, kind of distracting you, showing you a couple things, making sure you don't
I wonder
get a
if he's
little
ever going to get
too
a
much.
rub down.
Singing Eye of the Tiger with you as you get home.
You're very familiar
Oh, God,
to
he's got
this
his
because you are
cheering
into
section.
yourself, so you know exactly what they're doing. Well, Sparks is not, but you as Nathan are. As more of the electrical energy at the 30-minute mark, it stops.
And they have a cart specifically set so you can fall right into it.
Oh, good.
At the half-hour mark, you would be coming down on this.
Yep, and I'd be studying normal
Make a
again.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, can't say.
Man, he's coming down from his runner
Not
high.
an advantage. Not an advantage because I'd be off of it.
Correct.
Con say. That is not a good number.
What'd you get? What'd you roll 2 die for? No. Oh,
Con
because you
save.
have to save. You get to roll your 6. Yeah,
Because he's a
it's a
brute.
6.
Well, I say it's not a good number, but it's still a +7. So that makes it a 25.
20.
Oh, not a good number.
Okay.
It's not a 30.
You
You're
did
sitting
need
next to
a-
the king of tens and you say 25 is not a good
I'm
number.
proud of that.
Okay.
That's right.
So
Captain Average.
Oh, yes, indeed. Captain Average, except where
as
it
you
counts.
feel everything start to normalize in your system, you feel a physical exertion,
You're all
almost as if it's
6 feet tall.
about to weigh onto you, but you shrug it off, avoiding that
Kind of
additional exhaustion point. Because you're still at first exhaustion point, right?
I'm immune to exhaustion.
But
You're
you
immune
weren't.
to
It was-
normal exhaustion. Specifically how it's written, you're immune to like running all day exhaustion. Kind
Physical
of
fatigue.
Yeah, physical fatigue.
Gotcha.
You're not immune to exhaustion itself.
Gotcha.
So this is one of those type of things where you've been pushed so far to a magical, supernatural type of point that this is not normal exhaustion.
Things feel kind of sore.
Yeah, and you still have that one point of exhaustion from having your innards almost like feel like you burned out,
No, wow.
I forgot about that.
and you still feel that vibration through your whole body. And then silence hits, and you turn around and you see everyone eyes on these 3 tubes. They're still silent, and slightly smoking. A couple of fours come up with these strange, almost like a giant wedge, almost like a Phillips head, but in massive size. They come,
Phillips?
yeah, Phillips head, yeah.
Yeah,
Flathead.
that's fine.
They come over and they go to the bolts that are holding everything together, and they go and just break them off one by one,
Oh, like a chisel. Big old chisel. Big old chisels.
pretty much.
Gotcha.
I wasn't laughing at anything you said specifically, but I imagined a forge with a head that looked like a giant Phillips head screwdriver. And
I love that.
sorry.
And whoever built that thing, that poor forge is just.
You know he was teased as a child.
I was just going through his high school days. Oh, worst terrible.
The water burning ass.
You could say he was
Out of
screwed.
school.
Oh.
You could say he was screwed.
Oh.
Anyway, so as that distant mesmery goes through your head, one side, and another one. These once clean and vibrant innards, they're almost like a mirror base that had these strange attachments that were pressed against it, are now smoke black and just cinder, and are thrown to the side as if they're now nothing more than scrap. As you see ligaments of whatever like strange mechanical arms that were out are just falling limp to one side, broken and just destroyed, leaving a inert part strung up on a almost like a vertical gurney. A complete and whole forged.
Just one.
One for each tube. Yes.
Okay, so total 3.
Yeah, they put one for each tube, a skeletal version of it that was prepared, but didn't have like any of the tree organs or anything like that. So nothing was actually grown inside of it. But now it's completely, as you see, the root-like nature of it. They're going interlocking the stone bits, the metal bits, and also everything else. They're actually making the forged. 1 second go by. 3 seconds go by. A flash of energy from the chest, and the eyes, and they contort, and they stop moving.
We're not there.
Please designate sign. Please designate sign. Please designate sign.
Oh, good. We booted the post.
Did they beep?
We're not there.
Query steps forward and waves his hand in front of it, seemingly doing some sort of casting. You're not quite sure, as you're not an Arcana individual. As you see a thin line of multicolored, almost like a prismatic line, as it seems to rotate through it and goes completely white. I do not detect any foreign presence inside apart from the Garba that we desire.
Okay.
We have new youngling forged. And there seems to almost like a tense that was in the crowd permeate outwards to relaxation. At least somewhat. And you notice Coil, the one that had the wings that is currently just floating everywhere, not really walking. And then the individual that is has his cane as a gun. They converse for a few times, and both of them look towards the hunchback version, and he goes, "Fine, fine, 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 fine." And he walks over to you with a brisk husk. By right of the front lines, what are their signs?
Sign?
What will they be called? Get out there.
I wonder what Sparks is up to right now. I wonder what Sparks is up to right now. He's probably doing nothing important.
You're the one that allowed them to be created. You are their mother, essentially. Along with the rest of the Silver Menagerie. But since you are the ones here, and you witness it, what shall they be called? Individually, of course. They still belong to the house.
I'm certain they are the first of many to come.
Sure hope so.
I have a question regarding that after this, though. I have a little pet project I want to see if I get some notes on about that.
Well, take your time then.
Why? I don't want to be the one to name them. That should be their choice. I was given my name by my father figure. I had no name, so I feel like they should be able to earn their name based on what they do.
The name that you give them will be their name for now. When they grow a conscience, grow a semblance of independence, they will develop a name for themselves. Something that better suits them. Or they will keep the one that you give them.
It shouldn't be as blatant as a serial number, now should it be?
It's like foster
That
puppies.
would be traditional, but yes, frowned upon in my nature.
Indeed.
It's like foster puppies. Pick a food theme and then just go.
Stupid fly. Bug season, you know?
I'm gonna go walk up to the first one that I see and look for any discerning figure on them.
You walk up to the first...
Like a color.
Okay, you walk up
size.
to Well, looking over them,
What their makeup
Their-
is, mainly stone.
their
mainly
makeup
metal.
is pretty similar in terms of body size. They're a little bit built differently, and their base color is polished steel with a little bit of stone in between. They're definitely, essentially, they're cluster brothers. So, nothing in terms of discernible features. But the first one that you go across, notice that it almost has like a long brim hat, almost like a musketeer hat that goes across, that's made out of metal and wood. That seems to be completely different from the rest of them.
D'Artagnan?
Any colors on him specifically?
He has green eyes, a lower jaw that pivots, unlike yours. That has a little bit of green that permeates from the inner parts of where his jaw or ears might be.
You're gonna slowly walk around, just kind of looking at various bits of him. You will be known as Jade.
My name, Jade. Sorry, my side, Jade. And
Next
there's a
one.
bowl placed in front of you. Looks like it'd be a pigment of blue ink. Guerrero begins to speak. It is a tradition of ours. He places his hand into the ink, puts it all over his hand, and places his hand on his chest. A sign of approval. We do not have parents. It does not mean we are not built from family.
Next one.
This one, little wider chest, almost like a gorilla, that almost looks like he can lean forward kind of deal. This one with blue eyes.
You are now Cobalt.
The last one, thin stick figure. Given when normally I would say roll perception, but I'll just give this to you. You notice their feet are completely pointed, but look like they can extend out. So they can go completely flat or extend out completely. And you notice that their hands have additional digits. Instead of the normal 3, they have 4 for each hand.
Interesting.
This one, black lights for the eyes.
Bismuth.
Can't think of the name. Why can't I think of it?
Jet.
Onyx.
Still come down from that high.
Onyx.
Ugh.
Obsidian.
Ooh.
Ooh, good one.
Obsidian.
Oh, I'm thinking Onyx. I know. No.
And what was that second one? I do apologize. It was
Cobalt.
Cobalt. Thank you.
Which, if you're thinking cobalt in terms of like the periodic
metal?
table, that's
Yeah.
more metal. It's close enough. Cobalt's blue.
Oh, okay, so you're color-wise. Okay. Understood.
Get the foster puppy names. Like,
I went with stone and
He went with mineral.
mineral
Stone,
types.
right,
So that's
yes.
what I was doing.
And with the last hand, the hunchback individuals begins to speak up again. And we have new young. And everyone begins to clap with their various metal hands, and people begin to cheer and vocalize their joys as people come over. And you feel a couple of those bigger, beefy individuals come over and slap you on the back a little bit. And you just bring in the warmth and the company.
I did have a question for the what's his name? The guy with the cane.
The gun cane?
Gun cane.
Yeah, sure. You walk, he's a few paces away as you work your way over there. How can I assist you?
So, we imbued the new with a soul, right?
Correct.
Would it be possible to select the soul?
Possibly, if you go into the deepest research tanks of the Thesians. But with us, we lost a lot in terms of technology, knowledge, and techniques. We are building with nothing but our own hands at this point. We don't have the foundation, the resources, or the know-how to do so.
When I first started this journey, I lost my father figure, and I want to find some way to bring him back. So far, the only alternative that I have is either true resurrection, which I don't have anything but a book, because I had to burn his body, and the memories I had of him from the inn. So I was thinking, since we do imbue the bodies of the forged with souls, would it theoretically be possible for me to select his soul to be put into a forged?
My name is Glancer. I am a gunsman. I do not know much about it, but I do know about this. War kills people. All types of people. And there will be others just like you trying to get those lost people back. I've seen those type of people waste their entire life chasing that one thing they'll never get. Don't waste your life. You're not going to honor the dead by wasting your life on the dead. But I will say this. You're not the only one that is attempting to do this. So I won't say it's impossible. But I've never seen it happen. At least don't know about it.
We're building what we see with our own hands.
That is true.
Simply because we don't believe it doesn't mean it's not true.
Alright, yeah. Getting a little chastising there, but yes.
We're talking to myself.
Well, talk to yourself somewhere else. Then he kind of walks away.
Do you know where I could go to find more information? Potentially.
Roll a general charisma check.
Twelve.
12.
Anything at all. The only other path that I have is deep in the capital of the Barosian Empire. And I doubt anyone here wants to go there.
Ha! If they had their way, we would be slaves or be taken apart. Either way, it's not a very nice one. Do not go to the Empire. Do not go to the Thesians. If you want to go somewhere, try to find the Warden.
The Warden.
In the Codell Dynasty. And he continues walking.
Your quest log has been updated.
Suddenly an arrow is pointing in a different direction.
Fallout version.
Side quest added. Actually, I don't know if that's a side quest. So
Your quest line has been updated.
Depending on who you talk to on where to go, they'll say different things. Anyway.
Yeah, the Warden's better than going to the capital of the place that wants to tear me apart.
Theoretically.
The mansion. Here we go. Drake, Nicholas, and Eck.
yes.
On your way, as you guys are speaking about various things on possibilities, wondering if what you did was good, bad, or neutral, or
What would you name one of the new Warforged?
theoretical reasons.
Stumpy. If he was Stumpy. That's what I would name him. But I sure could use a good rest and a swim in a pool in a warm place, in a warm, dark place.
Stumpy if he was Stumpy, but I sure could use a swim and a long rest in a dark pool. It's a really long name.
I could go for a
Not sure.
swim and a very cold drink right now.
Approaching your manor, going from the global, the city view on where you are, there's the center of the city that first of all, the city is a crescent-shaped circle from the lake's edge. You are at the top left, and now you're going to the essentially top right. Past the sleeping steel dragon of Rose to the right-hand side of the city, looking this direction. The copy-paste nature of these buildings that are functional, strictly functional, apart from a handful of others that have either added to their buildings, adding pieces of wood or decadent art or other life that makes this very simplistic and very similar building into their own thing. It starts to, pretty much immediately spread out. And you're hit with semi-controlled, semi-wild, vibrant life. And even though it's dark, you can tell there are roses of pink, blues, and purples, colored leaves that you would not think that are normal or have some sort of magical benefit to them, that have a strange shimmer to them. And as you pass by with the lights that are on, you see a handful of very colorful, vibrant, heavy fantasy plant life that are currently overgrown what looks to be a stone and metal fence, the outline of perimeter. And it takes a good 5 minutes after you pass this perimeter that it opens up. No guards at the gates right now. As the person that's driving the car gets off the car, opens up the gate, all the way open, passes, and then closes the gate again. Takes a little bit. You find yourself approaching a massive, at least 180 foot wide manor. A mansion. Only 2 stories, as far as you can tell. Apart from like a third story that is at the very top, it only has not even a third of it at the very top.
I really like the shape of this thing.
It's got a pond.
It's got girth.
You see
Why?
water movement on the outside, and you hear a movement of a small creek, as far as you can tell. Approaching this manor, it has that very root-like. It's made out of stone, white and gray stone specifically, but it has that carving that make it very root-like in general, and a lot of that plant life that has either been placed there intentionally or has grown over time has made this manor look a little older than it does, but has that natural, it's been here for a while feel to it. There's a main entryway as you enter the courtyard, so to speak. And as you are stopped at the main part of the building, as the door opens, you see Quill, along with a handful of other individuals that are currently moving things around on the inside or outside as you see lights turning on in the manor, seemingly preparing the place as best as they can before your arrival. As Quill, this small little feminine forge individual with the faceplates and robes that have primordial written on around them, she turns around. Oh, hi. You're here early. You're not supposed to be here right now. You're not. She closes the door. Hi. You look like shit.
We need to sleep, and I need badgers.
Badgers, okay, and sleep, okay too.
Yep. Show us to our rooms.
Certainly. We can, whenever you wish, we can show you the rest of the building too.
Yeah. All right. Good night.
I think just a good place to
Turtle down.
Turtle down?
Turtle down.
There's a greenhouse at the center of this building that actually goes all the way up. That also has a about 12-foot pool at the center.
At the top?
No, at the base. It's
Oh,
a
good.
greenhouse.
It works better if you just make decisions for him.
Room, master bedroom, second floor, up and to the left.
I start off.
There is a master bedroom near a arcane fire range and a blacksmith area on the second floor, right side.
Right.
And which way to the pond?
The right side explodes.
as he's-
just in case anybody ever needs to know that.
She opens up the door, and literally at the center of the main area, there is a greenhouse built out of the what is it? It's not main courthouse. It's just, when you first enter a manor.
Foyer?
The foyer. Thank you. That is what I was trying to say.
Foyer.
Entry hall.
The
Sorry, it
entry
depends on
hall.
yes.
They're
I
both
was trying to find
accepted
foyer.
pronunciation.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm a turtle. It's foyer.
There's only been 2 episodes about this intro.
So, with this multi-stair foyer that goes up a level and then goes into the first floor, that is actually very around
It's
it.
like an upsteps. Okay.
Correct. And at this upstep, the center of it, before it bypasses to left or right, there is a greenhouse that has a lot of windows that have been lined with various colors of steel that looks into a greenhouse itself that is actually built at the center of this mansion that has a pool and a lake that are feeding into it, and wildlife that go up to the second floor and to the top where you saw that third story area where you see what looks to be a balcony on the second floor.
This place is pretty damn awesome.
The
Just for what I've seen.
greenhouse is about 40 feet in diameter, so not terribly too big, but big enough.
It's all right. Big enough for me.
Yep. And there is a semi-natural pool at the center of this area that acts as a watering ground for the plants and a pool.
As I'm walking up the steps, literally you hear clunk, as pieces of like luggage are falling off my body as I'm kind of doing this pop, snap, pop, and just letting it just fall. I'm just gonna stumble into the pool, just
Swoosh! As it literally overflows for a good foot of water.
you
And
hear, you hear a sigh of from underneath the water.
Sigh from one end, a couple of bubbles rise from the other.
You know me well.
The master bedroom, as you
Fertilizer.
pass, literally indeed a arcane firearms area. It is literally just a long, 10 foot wide, 20-foot long room that looks like that you can stand in one section and put whatever you want to shoot on the other end to practice new types of arcane natures to it, followed by and knowing your arcane prowess in terms of magical doohickeys and how they did this. He did say mass casting of fabrication. So this room, as you look around and looking at the details, did not exist probably not even 3 days ago. What did exist right after that is next to it there is a tinker zone, followed by a arcane experimental room, followed by a small smithing area. That seems to be well used and definitely has a lot of notes all over the place that were not yours. And then you find your master bedroom. Simple. Looks like the bed's new. And looks to be a hand walked in cart with a couple of booze on it.
Okay, so Drake will, step in, and close the door, holster the guns, look around, pick up the booze, set the booze down, walk over, take the bed sheet, lift the bed sheet up,
Bunch of dust.
right? Okay, take the pillows, lay the pillows down in a line, and throw the bed sheet down, tuck it in, and then go over to the closet and open the closet door, set and start laying down another little blanket or something like his own bedroll, lay it down in the closet and close it so there's only that much further. Gun, lay down, fall asleep.
So you put a dummy person in the bed,
Yep.
and then you go to the closet. Okay, I like that. All right. Nicholas,
Yep.
you find a A terribly attempt room of an elven make. That is the best way to put it. You find a very dainty version of a bed that tries to. You've seen one of those marketplaces where they sell it off as a elven bed, but it's a dwarf that made it.
It's wrought iron.
it's wrought iron. It's wrought iron.
The decor is actually quite nice. It has a lot of purples, blues, and blacks and stuff like that.
Quick question. Is it actually iron?
No, but it is hardwood.
Okay. Hardwood's fine.
Ironwood.
Iron, I wouldn't be sleeping in this room.
No, it is not metal, but it's definitely that's not elven. That's like the
It's ironwood.
bastardized version of elven.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I just, Fae, iron, it's a thing.
Yes.
I'm good. Continue.
Okay. There is actually a couch, one of those long sitting couches that you can actually go.
The settee.
A couple of tables and what looks to be a walk-in closet, like a pretty good sizable walk-in closet.
I glance about, not particularly enthused. Open closet, take off backpack, set plant, not open for discussion, closed door, and
There's no contact yet.
blankets, pillows, flip mattress,
Couple of bugs.
pick them up and eat them. Check room for spy stuff, check for...
Make an investigation check.
I don't understand. Why is everybody so paranoid?
I'm not. I'm just going.
If you read their backstories, you would understand.
I would understand, but Sparks is completely oblivious.
13.
13. You're tired. You're beat up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anything blatant, and the shadows are not moving, so that's pretty good for you.
I put out the construct, and I say,
1,000-leg scorpion.
I can give it basic instructions, right?
Yes, you can.
Destroy any cameras or intruders.
The lens that's on the inside, that's on either a chicken skull that's instead. It blinks as it resets.
He's not an intruder, pointing at the dog.
It resets again.
Cool. Put down dog. And I just kind of like flop on the flipped mattress and start like throwing stuff for him to normalize. He's had a rough day, so, throw a bone, let him blink around, do things.
Doesn't take long.
Yep. And as soon as he's done, as soon as he's played for about 10 minutes in Sylvan, you can keep playing. I'm going to sleep. Don't piss off the robot. And I...
And you hear... And he's right next to you. And he kind of goes...
Reasonable. And I actually do the trance thing instead of full-on passing out. I am not in a comfortable place right now.
That's perfectly fine. As you guys are continuing your rest,
This is about the time where I stumble through the door.
Sparks, before you're able to leave the factory, you're killed. You're straight up killed. Body parts distributed all over the town.
You wake up in bed with Sparks' head.
just his head.
Well, Drake's drunken rampage really has a number on you. Anyway, so Sparks, Prairie comes to approach you again, along with the floating individual that is known as Coil, the other council member that never seems to touch the floor and doesn't really move around much in general. Just seems to. That's pretty much it.
Power of the mind.
I beseech you. Understand that what you have done right now is unprecedented, historical. It must be praised. This is the first in our history, the Forge Nation's history, to have a scheduled trek. Well, first, to find, and to receive a Ark of Cogs, to go inside and to properly activate it. This is a historic moment. We need to give something praise. And we would like to give you, along with the rest of the Silver Menagerie, proper thanks.
What did you have in mind?
Statues.
Echo in the distance.
Statues.
We wish to make a public announcement to thank you, to give our
At the
people...
statue unveiling ceremony.
Shush! We wish to give a proper thanks and give you a proper send-off as heroes of the Forge Nation before they are told that war is coming.
On that note, let's just leave it as the name of the Silver Menagerie, and let's not be specific about the names. We can say my name, because I don't care, but the others seem to. So, if we
Will you not be
can-
present at this?
I will be present. I'm not sure about they will.
Very well. I will accept what I can get.
I'm so proud of you right now.
You're not there! Shut up, guys!
For example, I'm here. They're not.
Correct. It is,
They have a reason for this.
It is a wise thing not to speak for those that you are not.
I've only been alive, or I've only been reawakened for about 4 or 5 years now, so learning something new every day.
Never stop that. But be careful what you learned. Not all of it is good. The rest of your payment will be at the manor. And when Nicholas is ready, the laboratories of our choosing is available.
Gotcha.
The meeting with the Bright Keeper will take some time. Be patient.
Who's the Bright Keeper again?
Yeah. Think of it as the landlord,
Oh, right. I remember.
the dragon that rules this
Right.
place.
That one. Remember him. It was like only yesterday. Oh, it was.
Well, it was. Technically, it's the same day. How long were you in there?
Hard to tell. Roughly 3 hours? 4? Something like that? 5? Time didn't really move in there. Things were moving forward and back at the same time. People were frozen. There was this, like, I had to use this decanter around this water to get us around us. Some stuff, things were falling, but it's frozen in space, but they shouldn't be falling. The water hit it and then stopped.
Sounds like a very interesting place.
It's like frozen time. It was weird. So I don't think,
Honestly,
like when we came back, time passed for me mentally, but nothing happened here.
when there is travel into other planes of existence, and when you have those or constructs that have absolute control of it, things can get weird. Definitions of normal reality laws do not apply.
Well, like that's one reason I'm not worried about the issue inside the Ark of Cogs, because when we got it reworked, it kind of just rolled back time enough to the point where it could take care of the infestation
About infection.
in the infestation.
Something was implanted in you said.
That's right. Yeah. Probably need to be selective about here. There were things in there that we talked to that told me about something that was a gift that could be given. It was.
And when you say a gift, and those that you
I
spoke
don't
to.
know what the gift is, though.
Constructs do not, at least these constructs I know inside, historically have never contacted anyone else. Are you referring to the devils that were inside?
Yes, they were trapped behind like these crystals things. They told us about that. They told us about a thing to give me some sort of gift while I was on vibrating.
Why would they tell you that?
No, I'm assuming if I had failed, I would become a mindless construct. So, devils.
There's a momentary pause where he kind of just... His eyes dim from a bright green to a slightly bright green as he seems to go into mentally and seems to just trying to process what's going on.
Foreseeably, that I would not be in control of myself and attack my friends. Devils. Right?
Your actions are your own, and I will not judge them. Do not trust the work of devils, or any fiend in general.
No, it wasn't the work of the devils. It was something that was there from the construct plane.
You were talking to devils about you receiving a gift from the constructs.
What I saw was from the constructs. It wasn't. They were just telling me what it. They told me about it.
You're not making much sense, Sparks.
It's hard to remember. They told me about it. I went in and looked into it and found it my own way without referring to what they had told me. They just told me about the gift, the thing that did the thing. I messed up. I don't know.
It's kind of like almost like a parent figure looking at their child, having them describe how they got a bruise or a cut or something like that.
Look, this happened. I'm vibrating. Help me.
You're vibrating.
I feel vibrating.
He gestures out, grabs your hand.
All I know is something is different, and I don't know what.
I don't feel anything, unfortunately.
Is there like, I don't know, mechanic or something I can go to?
We have plenty of mechanics. We are exceptional at mechanical work.
I already had a tune-up before I went in there.
I think you went through a very traumatizing effect by double dosing. I think it is time you need to rest. I do not feel any shaking inside of you, apart from just normal movements. But I do not doubt your judgment. If you feel that it is need to be...
So, let me explain. There was a doorway. There was a gear... Was it a gear keeper, I think it what it was? A dismantled gear keeper.
I don't know what a gear keeper is.
It's one of the bigger warforged, or one of the bigger forged that were in there. Not really forged, more of automaton. But metal plate, you look into it, and it kind of pulls you into it. Does that make sense?
It does not. Get some rest. Collect your thoughts, and come back to me.
I swear I'm making sense to myself, but it's wibbly wobbly timey-wimey. I'm gonna go.
Enjoy your night, Sparks. He looks to Coil next to him, and Coil just goes... And you walk off into the night. One of the guards catch up to you. The same ones that spoke to you. Sorry about that. The manor is this way. And he begins to escort you towards the manor.
Yeah. So, have you ever been inside one of those Ark of Cons? It's really quite interesting. So there was like this, just kind of walking. Yeah. So, and then like this freezing time stuff that like it did all this, and there was floating bits, and I looked into a gear keeper, and you know what a gear keeper is? A gear keeper is like this big mechanical thing that just keeps everything running, and there was also a whole bunch of demons in there too, like no devils, devils. That's a big difference, right?
Devils,
yes, and
It's totally
fade up the moon.
Oh yeah, he definitely got this, how you came out and everything and showed everyone. Everyone's kind of.
We got this really cool jump back.
Oh, that's nice.
Still don't know what else it does. All I know is it allows me to cast jump. And it hurts people around people. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of got a lightning theme going. I mean, I got
Oh,
a
look
lightning
at that!
sword.
We're at the manor.
Look at that. This is your stop.
Have a nice night. He closes the door behind you.
Look at that. Okay. Hello? Hello? Hello?
One moment. I had to change the music. Sorry about that. You nearly half the size of you. Not quite, but you know, in terms of all dimensions. You see Quill in her robes that is currently fixing her head because she ran down the stairs and the air kind of just. Whoof.
At least someone I can be a little less formal around.
Well, I try for me. I try being formal, but you know.
You can take the hood off.
I like the hood on. Not much to look at, you know. So welcome back. You look beat up.
Do I? Your armor should held up pretty well.
The armor looks pretty well, but she lifts up your arm a tiny bit. Well, tries to lift up your arm.
Oh.
There's like soot and flame and a little bit of you coming out.
I'm only at half hit points. But I did use 2 chemical wills, so... Sorry, chemical enhancements. There we go. Oh,
Controlled substances.
Speaking of, just pop those out. Okay.
Let's just get the glass board and the razor. Controlled substances.
I just pop those out. And, okay, so I think these are hazardous waste at this point. What do we do with these?
She kind of hesitates.
So like the size of bricks.
And then takes with her foot and brings a little bin.
It says, warning, sharps.
And just kind of puts it off to the side. I'll find someone to deal with that.
That works. Well, they did what they needed.
It works, but, you know, at great risk. And also a little bit of a great risk.
If I didn't have those, I would have anyways, so.
How are you?
Weird.
Is that
Are
different?
you good with Arcana?
I mean, I'm scribe.
Okay, that doesn't answer my question.
I'm a study of lore and knowledge and stuff like that, so I'm a little proficient.
Okay, so I was.
But I'm very limited on what I know because we don't.
Down the spiel we go.
Yeah.
So I was in the Arcana and then I saw this weird gatekeeper, and then I looked into it, and it pulled me into it, and then it told me about somewhere down the hallway I needed to go and flip certain metal levers, and then this happened, and that happened, and then now I'm vibrating.
I'm assuming as you're talking, she's kind of like taking you through the manor and takes you into one of the library where she takes a couple of books, and just is kind of opening them up, taking notes at the same time. As there's a nice big window area that goes to the outside, a little black right now, as you see Mount Black fuse and a little bit of almost like a candle top to it, off in the distance, great distance, as it's being blotted out by other mountains in the distance. And she's listening over to the entire spill of your arguably mad rappling.
Sounds very mad.
Yeah. Roll a persuasion. Roll a persuasion.
This is great because I totally have a fantastic charisma.
Oh yeah, you're not good at talking.
Would you roll 1?
2.
So, a good 2 hours into it.
And then there's like this time stuff, and so it was floating, and
There's a
moving
cup of
around
tea
and
in front of you. You don't know where it came from, but there's a cup of tea in front of you, along with her, and a hot pot at the center of the table.
Wait, shouldn't you be rolling at disadvantage?
Oh yeah, at disadvantage because you are.
Right, because I can get lower than a 2.
Thank you.
No, that's 5.
So,
Making sure.
was this a
Okay.
wisdom check or what?
No, it's
No.
a performance.
Oh, okay.
Persuasion.
Okay.
Persuasion, which is charisma based. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, charisma based.
Yep.
So we got a 0.
Oh, yes.
If you roll a 2, you're -2 on charisma, right?
No, -2 on wisdom.
Oh, okay.
No.
I got a 1. Got a
Okay.
+1 on there, so that's actually a 3.
Ah, there you go. Much better.
Yeah, that makes the difference.
After taking that sip in her tea, I don't seem to put. You have a very unique way with words, which is not bad.
You mean
and I
unique
can
as
say-
in terrible?
Well, no.
I'm a
I
fighter,
think you're
not a bard.
still young, and I think you need to talk more. And it's good that you're talking. I didn't talk much either. But hopefully, through your talking and telling us, perhaps it helped a little.
It's not traumatic. Something's different, and I don't know what it is.
And I don't think anyone will know what it is.
You know we imbue the forged with souls, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way to theoretically choose the soul that goes into it? Basically going to ask every single person this question.
I mean, it's very possible. Even with our advanced, and she kind of motions for her entire body, construct of what we are and where we've possibly come from, along with the very question of what is a soul, where does it come from, along with human children or turtles, where do their souls come from? It is one of those hypothetical questions that can just never end and lead into nothingness. And then the question is, how long does a soul remain the soul upon the rotting of flesh? I'm not good at talking, but yeah, I hope you understand. It's not impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I don't think it's impossible. With the knowledge of liches and zombies and such like, I'm sure there's a way to do it, but you have to be careful where you look.
I have a few really stupid ideas.
Oh, I like stupid ideas. They're entertaining.
I think the answer to my questions might be in the book that Drake is smuggling.
That is really stupid.
That is really stupid.
The Drake just...
Plus, I'm gonna need you to be a little more specific than that.
I just like to imagine Drake just,
Specifically
at that point just...
No? Alright.
Specifically in the little
I
magical
know
book.
he's falling asleep with the gun, right?
Specifically in the little magical book.
Don't get startled.
The little bound book that I remember seeing when he was in the Chamber of Temporary Thought. That little book.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I remember seeing it
Uh-huh.
too. It's possible, but there is an armed crazy man next to it.
Armed, yes. Crazy,
Yes.
debatable.
Very debatable.
Yes. It's just a yes. There's not a debate.
It's definitely Bugsyism.
Also, if she wants to get him moving to his room, I'm just throwing out the second level of exhaustion. You move at half speed. So this whole time you could have been not making it to your room as she's trying to get you along. The mental image of that has been bringing me a lot of joy.
Yes. Quite literally just slump.
She gets about halfway and you turn around and she has no way to stop you because you are you and she's half your size. And then she rebounds and everything. And eventually you do get to a master bedroom. And it's a little bit more concrete and heavier reinforced. And there's actually a bed frame made out of slabs of stone that has what looks to be almost like a spring to it that's brought up at a 45-degree angle.
Just, I'm assuming a shower.
There is a actual, if you wish for a bathing chamber, there are bathhouses here.
That just simply it's to wash, like the armor.
Oh, let's head to the mudroom there. There's a decontamination shower there.
I mean, it did go to a different plane. It's probably a good idea.
Indeed.
Back from a different country.
Do you know that NASA has a person whose designated role is to determine, like, is to protect against cross-planetary transmission or contamination.
Yep. So yeah, in the mudroom, and you know what a mudroom is, where you put your shoes and muddy clothing and everything. There is legitimately a small little nook on the side near the entryway that has its own separate door to the main entrance of it. There is what looks to be a nozzle with a bunch of. It is a shower head that is legitimately looks like a decontamination shower that has a little pull lever and everything. The water is cold.
Well, I mean, the Kendra run this water would have done the same, but this is fine.
And there is a drainage at the base where it just kind of goes.
It goes on clear, comes off black.
Yeah, pretty much. Terrible for the armor. Don't shower with armor on. Ugh.
No, prestidigitation.
You don't have that right now.
Does she?
No, sorry.
Yeah.
I got my fingers. It stands out to 2 quills.
I'm not sure that's going to be very effective.
Not really.
Any way to dry me off?
I can give you a mustache.
That's not going to help.
Want to try it anyway?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. The shower scene.
Wow.
Fuck you.
This is the true action.
Yeah, what did you do last night? I got a mustache tied on. That's what I got.
Oh.
Okay.
And unless there's anything you want else to do, you are about to experience another exhaustion point. No, you're immune to exhaustion, so never mind.
Yep, no, it's just...
Surprisingly comfortable.
I have never known comfort like this.
And unless anyone wishes to do anything.
We are beat.
I'm trancing with vague awareness of plant.
Make a perception check. That's disadvantage because you are still in a trance state. At this point.
And he's behind a door.
I so want my long rest.
And
Give me my
plan for
freaking long
going
rest. Want to level this bitch up?
That is going to be a 12.
12? You don't hear anything.
Well, that's suspicious, but I'm too tired to care.
That's fair.
4 hours, you finish your long rest.
I have to do 8 hours for the long rest.
You finish your I need to look that back up because they've changed a couple of things in D&D lately.
Okay.
Apparently flying is only 10 minutes now.
Yeah, it used to be an hour, didn't it?
Yeah, it used to be an hour.
Well, it's a level 3 spell.
Yeah, I think it's been nerfed
If
appropriately.
it was level 4, then it'd be an hour.
Well, the point is, they changed a few things. So, I'll double check on that. Lately, it's been, anyway, we're going to continue with the old thing. So, 4 hours, you are awake, and you can continue, but you will not have a full rest until you...
Right. So now I'm awake and watching the door. And
Okay.
kind of like low-key throwing stuff for Charles.
Charles is pretty tired.
Yeah, just like...
He gets up for like a good 5 minutes, and that's it.
Yeah. And then he can come lay down and I'll scratch his belly, and then he'll pop up 2 hours later and I'll throw it twice. You know,
Bless you. Oh,
Hope he does.
you okay?
Oh, that sucked. Yep. I'm good.
You shouldn't break your back. I hear it hurts.
Anyway. And the rest of you finish a long rest. And you hit level 10. As you wake up, you hear da-da-da-da-da-da, and a little puff of confetti.
So the rest of you, that implied I didn't?
Da-da-da.
My new sheet.
No, you level up.
Okay.
I'm like,
I've got to write stuff into it, but
yeah, that was bad placement. No, everyone
All
leveled up.
good. Just...
wow.
As you guys got a hunky, chunky amount of XP due to surviving the Archicogs, not getting trapped in a time goo, and properly powering up everything.
And getting through without resting it at all.
Spawning point.
I love it.
Then we did a short rest.
What happened?
Nuts.
It's Valheim.
What about
Okay,
Valheim?
I'll explain it later.
Okay.
We're not sponsored. Don't plug.
I mean, there are certain things where you don't have to be sponsored. It's such a good thing that belongs in the world, but...
That is fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Like,
LEDs,
I'm...
clothing.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh god.
Just bleep.
Nathan, do you know why I have metal dice? Because I have a string back.
Their
here.
player be good dice.
Yeah.
Caltra.
Okay.
Also, I wake up in winter form.
Back to your winter form.
Yep. Sick of that shit.
Normality. All you wake up, well rested, a little sore,
And I convert my first level spell slots.
and immediately, as soon as you're like, bing, full long rest, you suck in all the shadows from every corner.
Yep. Hi.
Absorbing the shadows of the room.
Yep.
You know, everyone's got a shtick.
Everyone has a vice. Yours is shadows.
They're tasty.
And bugs.
Drake's been up for the last hour just putting shit together and
Gross.
tinkering.
Gross. Gross. 1, 2, 3.
I come out of the pool, and I'm going to. Well, actually, I can only breathe underwater for an hour, so I had to come out earlier.
So
No.
you just stick.
Oh, what
you
you
seen
are.
a turtle
Oh, I can
sleep?
breathe-
They
no,
just stick
actually,
their
no.
nose up and.
I can breathe underwater all the time now. I forgot.
Because he's a totem warrior of the snapping turtle twice.
You can breathe underwater.
Wow, cool.
Custom homebrew stuff.
Well, it's balanced, actually.
It is. I'm not saying homebrew. Homebrew should be balanced. It's just.
Well, it's hard to balance shit.
And you beat the Rod of God.
There's that one.
You beat the DM.
And then I'm winter.
I attack the DM. I win.
So.
Play the chain of command.
You all wake up naturally.
Or unnaturally in
or
some cases.
unnaturally in some cases.
I don't know what you're implying.
Your little Grimstalker is currently just keeping in the corner and just watching the entire room at the same time, unblinking, unwavering, and never exhausting.
Okay.
Warforged.
I mean, the door is still closed, so.
Well, the door's still closed.
Yeah. Lantern, and I am going to all of the negotiations with the devil.
Maybe you should do
Or
They
that.
go-
would barely fit within 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Like, I'll snip it what I need to, but
Okay.
yeah. Like, I'm not doing the full time. It's just like,
Oh, okay, so you're not doing it instant replay.
no, 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 no. It's like negotiation, negotiation, negotiation.
And actually, you notice that the closet door was slightly open. And you notice a couple of plant-like roots out of the closet.
He's allowed to see it. So real quick.
Okay.
And that's a red memory.
Red memory.
Ooh, she's got colorful memories. So,
You hear a voice enter your mind. As soon as you begin to finish with the lantern.
Okay.
Notably stickler with rules. But I believe it's that time to complete this negotiation. And you hear a right in front of you from summoning from ash and cinders combined into a strange parchment that is written out in red ink across it. Smell of brimstone enters your nostrils. You hear a and then and Charles is gone. Most likely got spooked from something and just ran like a child.
Niquist, what is this dog doing in my room?
Busy!
The new contract is completed upon your signature. Upon your signature, the other contract shall be null and void.
This is gonna take a moment.
As you read, everyone! As you eventually come out of your rooms, Quill is still at the house, and a couple of other Forge are moving a couple of things in place, starting to be a little louder now that you actually are up and functional.
Is there a central room that we all sort of like gather around? Maybe the kitchen?
Yes, there is actually a small kitchen. Not like a grand kitchen, as Forge don't really have the need to eat, but a couple of them do have the taste and knack for it. There is a small kitchen that is big for most...
Maybe a kind of parlor?
Well, actually, to tell you what there is an entertainment room with a bar that is partially filled.
Perfect. Perfect. Say no more.
Yeah, I'm assuming you have like an auto-locate beacon for that.
Just put your little box down. find me the nearest bar.
It just rolls
Gotcha.
away.
Level 2 spell.
So Drake has let the has laid out on one of the tables
Okay, easy enough.
in that room. Like a round table has laid out his entire alchemy kit and is currently going through the entire bar and one by one testing everything for poison.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I'm just
No, this would be an alchemy check. Because you're doing an alchemy thing.
right. But that having been said, hang on, let me make the roll. Ooh, shitty roll. 15.
15. Going through each one, and most of them are basic beers, followed by a couple of hard liquors, and maybe one or two that are like the good stuff.
All right. So on the bar top, Drake has laid out a handful of items.
Okay.
Interesting. What's this?
These are the spoils of what we walked away with out of the Ark of Cogs.
What? Really?
I'm assuming this is when we're all together.
Yeah. Breakfast. It's like I assume like Garth's song. Oh, nameless autonoma. No, never mind. You won't know how to make eggs. Hemingway.
Hemingway now still. Actually, does Hemingway get a long rest and regain hit points?
I just summon him again, and I have to spend a 3rd level spell slot in order to keep him up.
That is true.
So he's just. Alright. Hemingway will come by with Bloody Marys, bacon, eggs, hash browns.
In the midst of this, there is a heavy thunk, as there is what looks to be a long suitcase placed down that has been delicately wrapped in a fine cloth by Quill herself. That's arguably almost as tall as you.
What's that?
Our statues, weren't you paying attention?
What?
This was one of the 4 great forged generals' weapon of choice. You are asking for as payment as looking for a weapon that is better. So we were trying to find something that would be suitable to your type of weaponry and also to your demands.
I mean, being able to shoot lightning is kind of a gimmick at this point.
Hey!
From a sword.
Alright.
I mean, does anyone else have a use for a 9-ringed long sword that I got from a orc
I mean, I can turn it into
like
something.
8 levels ago?
You okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. You need a drink right now?
No. I can turn it into something.
It's better off than not.
Throw it on the table, we'll talk about it. I imagine we're going to sell some of this.
Probably. We got a lot of stuff we can sell. I have a lot of crap too.
So, what do we have, actually? What do we got?
So, we have
Do you have
a
reference of the
pearl
laws
on
primeval?
a silver chain, which enhances
not on
Toss them here on the table.
your spell casting.
Cool.
Okay.
And what are you looking for, Spurs?
We have a
He said
handful of
invoking the
exotic
laws of the
potions.
pact primeval.
Go right ahead.
Let's throw them on the
Yeah,
table
we
here.
have something that really
he
should
would
be
ask
an
him, and he would
artifact.
like,
Oh, yeah.
Or at least, like, at least legendary, not very rare.
everything
How's that
on
very
this.
rare?
Yes.
That should at least be legendary, good lord. That folding table.
We have quite the
No, I
statue.
hadn't actually covered the folding table before.
Don't worry,
I was
have
looking
it
at the
here.
other direction so that those can read it from this side.
Oh.
If you
I
want to,
thought
you
we
can zoom in.
could turn it.
And I'm assuming you, because remember, some of these things you have not identified yet, so some of those cards are dummy.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, well, then that's just what we
Just go
know.
through it. Wait
what
10
a
minutes,
smart
we get
little
down to
DM
burn.
we have.
Identify everything. Open up that circle.
However, this one I will put out there. Nathan, this is yours.
Oh.
Because that one is so simple, it is yours.
Oh,
So
the gear
simple,
blade.
even a child could wield it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I had the gear blade.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I threw that out. So yeah, we can throw that in there.
So we have a.
Keep it. If you're going to keep something like that.
What do we think that is not actually been identified? You know for certain what it is,
So
or is it?
I'm
I
going
don't
to
actually
like,
have...
Hold on. Yes?
I'm going to take a deep breath, open the door, feed the dog, and slam the door.
To what?
You're
So, no.
and you
Hey,
have-
dog, come here. So, Hemingway,
Fine. Here.
bacon.
All right, we'll give him a play toy. We'll give him a play toy, and I reach in and I pull out 1, 2, 3.
All right, roll it. As 3 fuzzballs land on the floor and become the ultimate lottery.
All right, let's find out here. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is going to be an interesting mix. Where's my little cheat
might be
sheet of
useful
my
to sell.
character with my stuff?
Gear blade.
Where'd it go?
It can only be used by Warforged.
Where's all my...
Well, actually,
My guys.
if you put it into your arm, it can only be used by Warforged.
Otherwise you can use it on
Oh,
board.
here it is.
Yes.
Gotcha.
It's a +1, whoever wields it. You cannot be disarmed for the special stuff when it being an arm blade.
Only if you're a Warforged.
Correct.
An axe beak, a giant weasel,
Oh, no.
and a tiger.
So,
Again.
this is like a bad joke. So a tiger, an axe beak, and a giant weasel
Poof into existence.
poof in existence in a bar. As Charles,
Right.
next to Mr. Hemingway, Mr. Hemingway rolls his eyes, starts making his way to the kitchen, and you start to hear, and you start to hear a sizzle in the background. Charles immediately makes eye contact with the axe beak.
Just don't worry. They're on my side. Play nice. Have fun. Don't hurt each other. Got it? All
I
right.
actually, so I don't have a card for that table. Like, I don't think I ever.
No, you
got one.
haven't.
Right,
you never
so
identified it.
it would be something I would be taking this morning to identify it. It's a ritual. I can.
Okay.
I suppose I should put the jump pack on the...
No, if
Table.
you're going to keep something, keep it.
Okay, fine, I'll keep it.
So you identify it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The jump pack works really well with me.
Yep. It has a front and a back.
My goodness. We've got lots of things here.
I've got a
And
lot
then
of
there's the
cheap stuff too.
case that has yet to be opened that Quill placed onto the table.
What do you have there, Drake?
Oh, this workstation table thing.
There's a back to it's a front and back piece.
So everything upon the table here is known as identified?
Yes.
No.
No.
So what is not identified here?
So casting identify is a 10-minute ritual. Like, I will identify our stuff.
Okay. In that case, I shall
I'll
give
take about an
you
hour.
this as well. Give me back the dummy card, please.
Which
Oh,
one?
no.
This the manual of... Is this the manual?
That is
Yeah.
the manual.
So it's a dummy card? Oh my
Yes, it
goodness. Sneaky little bastard DM.
I'm your son, helping out a bastard.
Very clever.
Oh,
Very clever.
Mortal storytelling is long-winded.
that's another book that I was thinking of as well. Not the one.
Manual of
Yeah, but I'm proud of that
Piloted Golems? Oh my god.
How's that just a very rare? This
So,
one.
shall we go through the line here and see what we have here and then discuss it?
That's artifact, yeah.
Or should we just all keep it secrets?
Oh, discuss it.
What do you have there?
Well, I was pulling up the big suitcase.
is
what's the big
Suitcase that unfolds. Remember, we hit the little floor button thing that we stepped on. It folds up.
The big
All
old
right.
the
Got
workbench
it?
that he
And
had.
then there's a manual that talks about how to pilot golems, I suppose.
Right.
A charlatan's die. It's a little die here. It looks like it's a fine carved wood bone, six-sided die.
It's a dice you can throw, and it'll always turn up the way you want it to.
That wasn't found in there.
No, this is stuff I've just had,
Oh,
and now
okay,
I'm
okay.
throwing it all
It
out.
says attunement's required. Well, that's amazing. I
It's more
don't-
for gamblers.
Yes. Well, I don't need that.
Who needs a die that you can choose or cheat?
Gearblade weapon. Attunement required by Warforged. Well, I can't use
Well,
that.
no, you can. It just doesn't require attunement at that point. In order to use it, you can use it like a standard +1 blade. The only reason why you need to attune to it is because it can store in my arm,
Oh, I see.
so I can never be separated from it.
It's a long sword. I can't use. I do great swords and great weapons. So
It holds up. So where the locksmith's arm was this like 5-foot thing.
Did you ever turn in that arm?
No.
No, it's still on his arm.
So that's just it. Like I took the morning and sort of like figured out, oh, yeah, that's not necessary. We'll put this in here, like reduced it down. So now it's only like from here to here. But I was planning on keeping this. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's something I could use: gloves of swimming. No, and climbing.
I
No,
found
don't
those.
think so.
I don't need them.
need
Oh,
those.
oh, that's right.
There's
I
the
remember.
9-ring Stormblade, but that is also a long sword, right? It is not a great sword.
Hang on, I have a helmet as well. I don't need the helmet anymore.
My God.
As you guys start taking out various items you've been
What
holding.
size is this blade of this lightning blade?
It's a great sword. It can be. It's a hand and a half sword, so you can use.
Oh no, it's a
No,
hand
two
and a half.
hands and a half. Sorry. It's a long sword. You can use it as a
Oh,
long
it is
sword or great sword.
1d12. 1d12. So it is a
No.
great sword.
You want to
Companions.
cast lightning
No.
that does thunder damage?
Sounds kind of fun, actually.
That's what. Did you see me toss that gear keeper?
Yes.
That's what I used.
It's
very
I'm
fun.
interested in that, maybe.
Very fun.
Potion of Vitality.
Like that don't make much sense for me.
A potion of possibility. What is that? Drink this.
Dope.
What does that do?
It lets you
What's that sword?
alter reality in subtle ways.
Interesting. Wow.
I feel like these two go
Action
together.
Possibilities. What is the Pearl of Power?
Thought Nicholas might take some interest in that.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
barrier
that's
items on the table.
Spellcaster. Again, not me. And the Helm of Underwater Action, which I don't need. I might look at your blade there, sir.
Do you need underwater breathing at all? Underwater
No,
action?
no, no, no. I come with Hemingway. Where's the helmet? I'll hold up the little.
It comes flying out the kitchen.
So it's a little glass ball that I go, and it turns into the like Spaceman's fifth helmet.
Oh.
So,
Useful.
I'm going to take a look at this a little further.
Sword.
Can I look at your
Ah.
swords?
So, as your attention is drawn to Query that is patiently just kind of waiting there, as soon as your attention is there, she delicately takes out this. Initially, it was a silk white robe, but now you can see is
Are you redlining a demonic contract?
devilish contract. Thank you.
Hi.
Meanwhile, in the shadows.
Yes, this cloth that
It's
is
very
seeing battles
important.
after battles
Eck
after
would have been
battles,
in danger if
and
it
as
still
it
said
comes
friends.
unwoven, it's actually a banner that have seen who knows how many battles. As you see scorches, battle wounds, has been stitched up, and then various holes in it of just cloth rot or silk rot, and places right next to it. As she unlocks it and opens it up, and you see a fine, angular long sword that is a little wider, and when it gets to the point, it has a slight angled outward and goes back in, almost like a sideways triangle. And the handle itself is a little weird, has strange connection and handholds, and the hilt equally is strange, as it's not a flat, but it has a V shape. So all of it is almost as if it's specifically designed to look like it's charging forward in a single direction at all points in time. This is a forceful arm blade, known as Mercy.
Normal. Forgive me, but I remember reading weapons that are named often have a conscience within them.
Oh please! Every two-bit nobleman names his sword something.
Yes, and this was wielded by one of the 4 great Warforged generals.
Who started out as a two-bit noble nothing.
Well, kind of. No,
Oh.
we don't have nobles. No, I
No, we
don't.
don't- we don't-
I don't
no.
know where he's going there.
Conscience to protect.
And she gives off the basic information of what it does.
Noble?
It is another arm blade. David,
It-
can you pass that over to him?
Sure.
It is another arm blade, +1 to attack, and it deals additional 2d6 force damage.
It's fucking He-Man's sword.
Is it?
It's basically He-Man's sword.
No, He-Man was a little different.
No, that's basically He-Man's sword.
I will double check with He-Man, but
It's basically a sword.
all right, I'm looking it up. I did not intentionally do that if that was.
Pretty sure that's He-Man's.
Unfortunately, I can't use your blade because I am out of attunements.
That is not He-Man's sword. You failed.
It does look familiar though, right?
What?
So
That's,
I reviewed this.
okay.
Mostly, there's a couple of grammatic changes. I'm assuming it's issues of translation. There's a couple of defining things where I insisted that scribe and recipient be explicitly stated. I added the addendum of this plain pact thing, just to make sure that I read and clarified that we're operating from the same place.
Handwriting.
Sorry.
Okay, so, scene change, everyone. So that we have a little bit of a
Yep.
clarification. So, the scribe and the recipient is a normal thing because I cannot give you my true name yet.
I understand that. I'm just specifying, based on context references, who the scribe and recipient are. It basically says you, the one who helped leave the plane, and me, the one who you helped.
So would you like it to be replaced with the names?
No.
Then what would you like it replaced with?
Nothing. It's just an addendum that clarifies. It's basically saying the scribe being the individual who did this, and the recipient being the person who did this. It's common Fey practice.
Very well. It's a little bit more wordy, but fine. Handwriting and a little initials come next to it, making it legitimate for that part.
Yep.
What else?
So then the next one that's a significant change is on the next page. Where it says friends.
Companions.
Yes. There is a member of the party who I would not consider a friend, and I'm not letting that squick through.
Upon the signature,
Because you're being friendly.
upon the completion of this contract, you can change whenever you wish when someone's a friend or a foe. Apart from us.
I have to operate within truth when establishing contracts. I'm going to say companions, and I am comfortable denoting when he's no longer a companion of mine. But he is
Anytime
not.
he's with you, he's a companion.
Then, would you prefer a contract that is
Looking on
more
the bad side of her
name
show.
written on who is your companions?
Say again?
Meaning, would you like more of a rigid contract that says which ones will be your companions and everyone else is free game?
The statement of companions is all that I need instead of friends. Friends has intentional meaning.
Did I actually use friends?
Used friends, and I crossed it out and wrote companions above it.
Oops! I assure you they meant companions.
Okay.
I'm gonna just check on those people.
And then the last one, all of these packs. Wonderful. Absolutely. But there's one that specified places of worship. I don't want to allow places of worship that funnel into my workplace to be selected. All the rest of them are fair game. And I specified which workplace. Obviously, if it's a place that funnels into the crystal memories, that's very diverse. But the stable of grief, that's a very small subset of houses.
So, for the second pack that you're referring to, if you were to agree to it, you do not have to agree to it now.
I'm aware.
We will add to the contract that you would not, I would not choose the location that you are deciding right now.
Then we're good.
But
If you'll initial along those, then I'm happy to sign.
Very well, companion.
Do you want me to actually sign it? Because I didn't, because I needed those terms to be agreed to first.
Yep. And what is this last part here? This is
That was just putting in a reference to the
Okay.
patent. I'm basically saying I read the
Right.
mythos and have an understanding of.
I'm
That way I can't claim ignorance of that at a later date.
and unfortunately with the devil contracts, ignorance doesn't make you do anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So just sign for the first area, not the second or third quite yet.
Yep.
Unless you choose so. And
I have to
upon,
sign there, and then I have to sign the final one.
yes, the final line, yes. So, as you begin signing, it's strange. You take a quill and ink, and you sign for it. But as you sign for it with your strange octopus on a stick, because you have that,
Octopus on a stick.
the ink turns red. And you feel something leaving your fingertips.
There's something that I forgot to mention. Everything that I wrote I assumed that was written in my blood on the contract.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And even though you use a different quill and it has different ink, for some reason, it still left your body.
I'm very aware.
And as soon as you finish the last initial, you feel almost like a shunt. As you feel a wave of heat wash over your body and then subside. It's a pleasure doing business with you.
You as well. Is this host suitable for now?
Yes.
Very well. And I fold the contracts up and
Notice
I
though-
put them in.
Countless voices cried out in terror.
Suddenly silenced.
Fold that up. It's daylight. You're going to want to be in the backpack.
Oh, yes.
Fold them up, slip them on, head downstairs.
All right. And as you guys join the rest of the people, taking a few moments to find them.
Also, I yell for Quill on the way.
I'm over here with you guys.
I'm holding the blade to my arm.
Drake is eating bacon.
When I show up. So, badgers?
They're in the animal house.
No, I need to feed the plant. I need a badger.
Yes, they're in the animal house.
Can you bring me a badger? I have to finish this.
I like these robes. And she walks out into the distance. And we're going to take a small break right there.
Wow.
All right. Lot going on.
Let's finish this in the break.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so
Yeah.
We'll take care of all this in the break.
You don't need to see this.
Yeah, that's not turned into a shopping episode, but wow, that's cool, man.
No one
It's
likes to watch
still
shopping
entertaining on the
episodes.
shopping episode.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but not many people like to watch a shopping episode.
Okay.
Anyway.
But anyway, we're going to get back to it for you in a week, for us in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep unrolling, everyone. Take care.
Toodles.
Bye.